Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Hamilton coming to you again, country boy from Old Hickory, Tennessee, with part 2 of Never Be Broke Again. Never be broke again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just looked at part 1, we talked about the fact that you need to follow a formula, a schedule to never be broke again. I gave you 10, 10, 80, 10% of your income to the Lord right off the top, 10% to yourself that would be yours forever, and 80% that you live on. That's the formula that I gave you. Ladies and gentlemen, so many people say, Bill Hamilton, how do you expect me to live on 80% of my income when I'm not doing a good job of living on 100% of my income? I can't make ends meet living on 100% of my income. Well, I'm glad you asked. I want to give you one approach, and that is that I learned way back in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Anderson, Indiana, and I want to give you the formula. This is the formula, ladies and gentlemen. You must stop running hither and thither and yon, buying the latest, greatest new gadget, new gizmo that just came out. New iPhone that just came out. You got to have the iPhone. New Xbox that came out. You got to have the new Xbox. New flat screen TV. 3K, 4K, 5K. You got to have the latest K. New concert that came to town. You got to go to the concert. New movie that just came out. You got to go to the new movie. New sneakers that came out. You got to have the latest sneakers that came out. New whatever, you got to have that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you continue to allow the retailers to determine what you're going to spend your money on, you'll always be broke. But the name of this video is Never Be Broke Again. So let me give you the formula that I started using some time ago. Number 1, buy quality. Buy quality. Number 2, take impeccable care of it. Buy quality, number 1, take impeccable care of it, number 2. And ladies and gentlemen, when you do that, you'll find that you'll just buy one time when everybody else is buying 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Well, you understand what I'm talking about up in here? Buy a quality automobile. Take impeccable care of it the way I do. I talk about double waxing that automobile at least 3 times a year. I talk about continuing to make sure that the oil is changed on a regular basis. Continue to watch those fluids. I talk about taking the car, instead of parking it outside of the garage like so many people do, I can't understand it, park it in the garage. You've got a $35,000, $40,000, $50,000 asset that you're parking outside of the garage, and you got a whole bunch of stuff inside of the garage, and your asset is deteriorating like crazy that you're parking outside of the garage. Daddy would call that a sin and a crying shame. Buy quality and take impeccable care of it. Then, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to have a formula. But you say, Bill Hamilton, I understand your formula, 10, 10, 80. But how in the world do you expect for me to save 80%, particularly in the situation that I'm in today? Well, I've got a starter program for you, and I'm glad you asked. Because I understand that everybody can't just start saving 10% right off the bat. Number 1, you've got a debt hole that's so deep that you're trying to dig yourself out of. So let me give you a foolproof starter program that I recommend, that many of the people that I teach and mentor employ. My program is called a Red Envelope Program. The Red Envelope Program. What is the Red Envelope Program? Glad you asked. The Red Envelope Program is this. You stay with me right now. Ladies and gentlemen, a few months ago, you were paying $2 more per gallon for gasoline that you put in your automobile. You were paying $4.50 a gallon, $4.95 a gallon, okay, $3.95 a gallon, $4.25 for high test. You were paying $2 more than you're paying right now. You were paying ExxonMobil, you were paying Shell, Hess, you were paying all of those folks $2 more per gallon than you're paying right now. Did anybody out there not go to work because you didn't put gasoline in your automobile? Thank you very much. The answer is no. Did anybody out there not go to see their children, their grandchildren, because they didn't put gasoline in the automobile when it was $2 a gallon more? The answer is no. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is what my program is. My program says to you, you were paying $2 more per gallon, and you were paying that to the gasoline companies. I want you to start paying that same $2 per gallon to yourself. So now when you roll up to the tank, and when you put gasoline in your tank, $1.98 a gallon. It used to be $3.98 a gallon. And you put 10 gallons in your tank. You used to trot inside or use your credit card and pay $2 more per gallon. Now I want you to pay that bill, $1.98 a gallon or whatever it is, and now I want you to pay yourself $2 a gallon. 10 gallons of gasoline, that's $20. I want you to take your red envelope out of your car, and I want you to put $20 in your red envelope along with the receipt for 10 gallons, and mark on the back of the receipt 10 times 2 equals 20. That's what I'm paying myself. So every time you put gasoline in your automobile, and if you're married, you and your spouse put gasoline in your automobile. That's 2 automobiles. Every time you put gasoline in your automobile, $2 per gallon goes in your red envelope for yourself. But Bill Hamilton, but I don't, no. Don't tell me you don't have it. Don't tell me you don't have it. Because when gasoline was $2 per gallon more, you were paying it to Shell, you were paying it to ExxonMobil, you were paying it to Hess, dadgummit. You paid it to them, now I'm saying paying it to yourself. Pay it to yourself. Don't tell me you don't have it because you had it then, you gotta have it now. It's the same $2 per gallon, but instead of paying it to them, you're paying it to yourself. And now, ladies and gentlemen, people who are following my program, they're finding out that at the end of the month, they've got $200 in their red envelope. They have $300 in their red envelope. Married couple have $400 in their red envelope. The same money that they used to pay to somebody else, now they're paying it to themselves. And when they didn't think they could accumulate that savings the way I recommended in part 1. Now they understand with this easy program, this easy red envelope savings and investment program, they can pay it to themselves because it's the same money that they were paying to somebody else. And nobody can decide that they don't have it. Because they had it then, and I'm asking you to have it now. If you can pay somebody else, dadgummit, surely you ought to be able to pay yourself. Red envelope, savings and investment plan. You follow this plan, ladies and gentlemen, and after every month, you got $200, $300, $400 in your red envelope. This is the money that you're beginning to accumulate. This is that 10% that is going to be mine forever. It might not add up to be 10% of my monthly income, but it's a starter program, ladies and gentlemen. Every dollar that I put in my red envelope will be mine forever. Because once I save it, and once I get 10-month savings, 12-month savings, 20-month savings in my red envelope, now I'm going to invest that money in a wise mechanism that is going to grow and develop. I'm going to put my money to work. Never be broke again. When you've got a red envelope, ladies and gentlemen, you're never broke again. This is Bill Hamilton, country boy from Old Hickory, Tennessee, talking to you about my little simple red envelope plan. Take it to the bridge, son. Take it to the bridge.